Oh, come on!
Wait, this anime is definitely better than what you're thinking. And let me explain why. If I were to describe an anime in one word, people would use good or bad, but not epic. That's because most anime end in 12 to 24 episodes, so it's very hard to express an epic story in such short content. Usually, most anime have the best scenes in the beginning to attract their audiences, but in the anime kingdom, they show their negatives in the beginning. I think most viewers give up immediately after seeing the first few episodes, including me. I was thinking, how can a 21st century anime have CGI like this? Did I time travel to the past? Okay, actually, you did a pretty good job. But I can't ignore the fact that they have horrible 3D effects, as well as the kindergarten brains of the enemies, and a very old and abused plot. If I were to change the resolution to 360 pixels, it would feel like I'm watching a TV show on PBS Kids. Also, I understand why they use the 3D effect in the battle scenes to save money, but why do you need to use the 3D effects during conversations? 2D is very beautiful, why use 3D? Not to mention they switch between 3D and 2D too frequently. It's hard to tell who's who at times. Hey babe, wanna come over for some coffee? Of course!
A few moments later.
Hey, I'm here, where's my coffee?
911, what's the nature of your emergency?
Yeah, someone's trespassing into my house. All jokes aside, let's talk about the war scenes. Because all members of a team look similar, I really doubt they can figure out who is who in a war battle. Every general seems to be playing Dynasty Warriors, and every soldier seems to be playing Mountain Blade in difficult mode. The anime still has a lot of loopholes. How is there a chair in China 2,000 years ago? Is there a time traveler teaching them how to write modern Chinese words? And, oh my god, why did they add a gay person in this anime? Did homosexuality even exist in China 2,000 years ago? These factors made me have a very miserable experience during the first few episodes. In this anime, the story is just about a boy named Xin who wants to become the strongest general. He helps the second main character, Yin Zhen, to take over China. This story, through a multi-character narrative, tells the whole epic story. Xin participates in the army to train himself, and wins battles to get the experience required to be a general. As for Yin Zhen, he's in the midst of a civil war, protecting the country from collapsing. After a long time of watching the 3D effects during battles, my eyes slowly got used to it. Sometimes I even feel like the 3D effects are pretty cool. And afterwards, in the second season, the amount of 3D battles decrease. But I still don't understand why they make the characters' eyebrows and Adam's apple bigger. To show maturity? Anyway, strong cast voices and good background music make up for the lack of scenes. Yin Zhen's cast voice is Jun Fukuyama, the same person who voiced Lelouch. So every time he speaks, he has a king-like tone. The main thing in this anime is about the war from Xin's narrative. This anime will always use at least 5 episodes just to describe an epic war. The war in this anime is different from solo battles. It doesn't matter how strong an individual is, it's hard to change the tide of a war. Sometimes, wars will be maintained for several years. A lot of people will die. Basically, any factor can impact this, and every general makes their plans, arranging their soldiers to either attack or defend. The enemy and teammates are all very strong people, using their bodies to swing the sword and using their minds to consider their strategy. Compared with other war animes, the details in Kingdom are much better as they explain how they communicate during war through long distances, as well as how they set up base to protect themselves. It's not like some high schools who just Googles the 36 stratagems from the internet and leads their army to fight in a war. And the gay person I mentioned before is actually my favorite character in this show, or I guess the most respectable man. This respect isn't because of how strong or smart he is. He's just a very admirable man. He will finish the job even till the end of his life. On the other hand, this anime is also in the process of a civil war from Yin Zhen's perspective. In fact, I even think the civil war plot is better than the actual war plot. On the surface, everyone treats each other nicely, but underneath that smiling face, they're secretly conspiring to kill each other. Everyone is hiding a knife behind every smile. But in any perspective, they're all just concerned for their country. If the Qin dynasty were to be peaceful, they're in an endless civil war. But if some other country were to invade them, they would unite together immediately and protect their own country. This reminded me of the feeling I got when I watched the anime Reborn. But compared to the anime, I'd suggest you to read the manga. That's because the anime is for all ages, so it will restrict some blood and graphic content or some sexual scenes. Reading the manga can give you a better sense of the tragedies during war. Not to mention, the manga sold copies close to Demon Slayer and One Piece. By the way, spoiler warning, the Qing dynasty defeated the other 5 countries and becomes the first empire of China. Yeah, of course, everyone knows that, right? You know it? You should know this. Compared to a real history, Kingdom traces from them, but it changes some details to make the story more amazing. For example, the most famous generals during the Qing dynasty are Pai Qi, Lian Po, Li Mu, and Wang Jian. If you don't want to be spoiled by the real history of the Qing dynasty, you can skip this part. Did you skip it? Okay. In real history, at the end of the first season, the war doesn't actually exist, and Oki is not actually a famous general in real history. Xin's real name is Li Xin. In history, Li Xin did not become the biggest general. Instead, his offspring, Li Guan, helped him achieve this goal. And the Hixin unit in the anime is actually Li Guan's army. And by the way, the biggest general during the Qin dynasty is Wang Jian. He helped Yin Zhen destroy the other countries. Li Mu in real history probably has a percentage of being Li Xin's uncle. About who Li Xin's wife or when he died is, they don't really have specific data on this. And that's also the reason the author chose Li Xin as a character, because of his vagueness and missing information, which allows it easier to come up with new information and secondhand create his story. And did you know, in real history, Kyokai is actually a male? Yes, he is a male. Welcome to the victims of gender changing by Japanese anime companies. Now, let's talk about the Emperor, Qin Shi Huang, and the guidance of his laws that he carried out. Although many people remember him for the ruthlessness of his enforcement, his projects benefited many people. For example, he abolished the feudal system that was practiced in China and replaced it with a centralized autocratic government. Additionally, laws were codified and people were punished if they didn't obey them. Moreover, the scripts used for writing, coinage, as well as weights and measurements, which had previously varied from state to state, were standardized during his reign. Furthermore, the construction of the famous Great Wall of China took place at this time. This wall is said to mark the empire's northern border and protected China from the nomads of the north. So, although the reign of Qin Shi Huang had a largely negative evaluation, his projects benefited millions for years to come. At the end of this video, let me give you some suggestions for watching this anime. First, this anime is not real history, it's just based on real history, so don't treat this story too seriously. If you actually want to understand the real history of the Qin dynasty, you can just Google it. Secondly, don't give up on this anime just because of the weird CGI and boring plot of the first few episodes. And third, the best way to enjoy this genre is to read the manga with some music in the background, because the background music of this anime is so goddamn good, especially the ink painting at the ending. It's just so beautiful. Not to mention, Kingdom is gonna have a third season this April. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited for it. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button and leave a comment on what type of videos you'd like to see, and I'll see you guys next time.